Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. In today's video, I'm sharing with you 3 farmhouse inspired DIYs that I know you will just love. For the first one, we are going to go ahead and take 3 books that I grabbed at the Dollar Tree. You can use books you have on hand that you're no longer going to read, or you can just grab some at the thrift store. I just find that the Dollar Tree has the best prices. I'm also using these wooden stamps that I grabbed at Michael's. I use these all the time. They are great quality and definitely worth it. I'm also going to be using a black ink pad. This giant one is also from Michael's, but you can use any black ink pad you have on hand. To finish off, I'm going to be using some jute cord as well as some decorative ribbon to make this project look finished. So, learning from my experience, I always write out whatever saying I plan on stamping because I have had to go back and remake books because I've actually made spelling errors. So I am starting off with taking off the covers of these books, and to do so I'm just ripping off the front and then the back, and most of the time they come off pretty easily. Sometimes there's little remnants like this and I have to pick them off. But once I'm done, I have a nice white paper spine, and that's what we're looking for when we are stamping books. I'm also removing any pages that are not pretty in my opinion so that I can keep a nice aesthetic when I'm stacking them. Now that the covers are removed from the books, I'm going to go ahead and lay out the stamps that I plan on using. I like to do this step to make sure that I'm not missing anything, because when I'm in the process of stamping, it is not necessarily focused on my spelling or anything like that, like I mentioned before. So I'm just pulling out the letters I'm going to be using so that I have them ready to go. Personally like to make sure all of my words on my stamped books are right justified, so to do so I always start with the last letter and then work my way in. So again, it increases the possibility of misspelling, so that's why I always keep the words right in front of me so I don't make any errors. I know that these books would be beautiful even with the words on the right or centered, so whatever you think would be best for you is what you should do. I just love stamped books. I think they bring so much character and they're so easy to personalize that they're perfect for every single family. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back. Something just so simplistic and beautiful about a set of stamped books with a little message on them. And now that they are ready, we're going to go ahead and join them all together with some jute twine and some really pretty ribbon. So this ribbon is from, I believe, Hobby Lobby, and I use it for all sorts of things, but I thought it was perfect for that farmhouse appeal. And I'm going to add in some jute string just to add a little bit more texture. Then baby, try to believe me when I say that you can tell me anything. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back. I've made my fair share of these stamped books in my time now, and I just love to decorate with them in my home. And the next project we're going to be doing are some chalk painted vases. So I've grabbed these 3 vases from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to give them a really good coat of paint and let that dry completely. Make you forget about what's wrong, let it all out of me. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back. Baby, you'll
if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
And for this final vase, I decided I did want to keep some of the glass able to be seen through, so I'm just using some tape. And typically I would use painter's tape, but I just couldn't find it and I wanted to get this project done. So I'm just using some shipping tape to draw out a line to make a nice clean edge from where I finished painting.
Filled with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is.
And once that first coat was dry, I went ahead and did a second and then a third coat of this chalk paint. Although it is nice and thick, because it is glass, it has some places where it was very easy to see through. One trick I will say is definitely make sure that each of your coats is completely dry before going back in. The impatient person that I am, I kept trying to paint over semi-dry paint and it was causing horrible patches to show through. So be patient and do one single coat at a time and let it dry completely before moving on.
Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you. I'm dreaming of you. What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could.
Now for the moment of truth, I'm gonna finally remove that tape and see if we get a clean line. I have to say I was very happy to see that the line was not bad at all. However, we are still going to cover it up a little bit using some jute string. So I'm using a hot glue gun and I'm using the seam of the glass for my starting point so that I keep that in the back of the actual vase when I'm using it. I'm just going to wrap this jute string tightly around until I like the look of it, and then I'm going to trim it off. I really like things to be nice and cohesive, so I am going to add some jute string again to this larger vase as well.
It's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day.
And for the third vase, I'm just going to add some jute string to the bottom just so that all three pieces look like they belong together.
Tight through the night. Just us two, me and you.
One styling rule that I love is the number 3. Always use odd numbers when you're decorating and it will make a more cohesive look.
I just feel so lucky.
For this final project, we are going to be using Canva to design a sign. So I went ahead and designed this laundry company sign, and I have it as a free printable down below for you guys, so make sure you get that before you leave today.
You know I'm here to stay every single day.
Once I have my design ready to go, I went ahead and uploaded it into my Cricut Explore page, and I'm just going to cut this out using some white vinyl.
It's just us two, me and you.
Next, I am going to use my weeding tool while I'm watching some YouTube to clear out all the pieces that are not going to be used. I will tell you this took me quite a while because it is a pretty intricate sign and I had some very little itty bitty letters in there. One trick I have for you is as you get pieces off, definitely trim them off so that they're not getting in your way and not possibly ruining your design.
I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me. I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive.
For transfer paper, I'm actually using contact paper that I grabbed at the Dollar Tree. I will tell you that this is a lifesaver. It is not nearly as sticky as other transfer papers that I have used that have actually ruined my projects. So I really love using this contact paper. However, it only works with the flat or regular colored vinyl. It will not actually stick to the glitter vinyl as I've noticed in the past. So just a trick that you can use as well.
Stars, I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break.
I'm using that contact paper to pick up all that vinyl, but what I want to make sure I do is use my scraping tool to make sure it is nice and stuck to the actual vinyl itself. Once I've done the front side, I'm actually going to flip it over and use it on the back side as well before I try doing any type of lifting.
Lay my troubles to rest. Blow smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town.
To make my sign. This sign I grabbed for $5 in the Target dollar spot, and I just thought it was perfect for this project. So I definitely recommend you run over there right now and see if they have one at your store as well. Once I'm happy with the placement of the vinyl, I'm just going to go ahead and use that scraper tool once again to make sure everything is nice and adhesive to the board so that it sticks. One thing I did notice is that my little border here was not fitting within the frame of the sign, so unfortunately it had to go.
I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna
Just love how this laundry company sign came out, and I'm so excited to use it in my laundry room.
Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can